Welcome to Letters from America, a road trip podcast searching for the Swedish heritage in the United States. I'm your host, Martin Wern, and today I've parked a Volvo and the Airstream in Scottsdale, Arizona, and with me is Pia Nilsson, a coach in the golf world that has a resume that I cannot even comprehend in a way, because your list is so long with victories and talented people that have surrounded you and that you have helped. Where did it all start? How did you end up there?
Yeah, well, thank you for having me here, Martin. So it's really cool. But I think it started when I started playing golf at about 6 years old.
6 years old?
6 years. My mom started me in Sweden. But anyway, so it started with me being a young Swedish golfer due to my whole family playing, and then I had big brothers. I was good in sports, but we lived close to a golf course, and it became something I did, and I became good. And then I started competing and got national attention and junior national team and Swedish team. So it kind of, I didn't know, but it just kind of happened that way. And then when I was in high school in Sweden, a friend of my parents, his name is Bobby Strandberg, he'd been in the U.S. and he was a track and field athlete, but he came back. He was also a golfer, and he said, do you know that you can go to the U.S. and play college golf and get an education? And I kind of heard about it, but I didn't know. So
it was something totally new for a Swedish person.
Yeah, and actually no one from Europe had actually done it at that time. So
really?
Yeah. So he only had one address. He had been to Arizona State University, and he knew they had a women's golf team. So that was the only address I had. So anyway, so me and a friend of the Swedish team, Charlotte Montgomery, we wrote to Arizona State University. But they, even though they had won European championships and were really good, they had no reference because they hadn't had European players.
No.
But anyway, so actually lended money from my grandmother for their ticket and first semester tuition, and took a chance. And it's the best chance I ever took.
So that is what led you to, I'm jumping ahead now, but that is what led you to Arizona.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wow.
So it's kind of always been my home base here in the U.S. because this is where I started. This is where I went to college. This is where I started having some community and friends.
Yeah. So that's because on my list of questions I want to ask you, that's why. Let's address the elephant in the room. I know nothing about your world. I got a nephew that is very talented on golf. He's living next to a golf course. So he's been playing golf since he was a little kid. He's very talented. That's all I know. I've read about your resume. I read about all the things that you've accomplished as a coach, but I know nothing about the terms, the points, the handicaps. I know nothing. So
that makes it just nicer for me.
Yeah, okay.
I talk to enough golf people.
But my to leading up to that question is that Arizona and golf, I mean, for me, golf is Scotland.
Yeah.
But Arizona is... I can see that I'm sounding a little bit stupid now, but, Arizona is a golf center in a way. Is that...
Yeah, it sure is. I would say, like, in the U.S., Florida and Arizona...
Yeah, Florida
are the biggest ones.
Yeah.
But Arizona is very big, so obviously, because we have nice weather. It's not so big here in the summer, but it's a very popular place the rest of the year.
But golf is a lot of grass.
I know, when...
Doesn't make sense in a way.
No, exactly. But, here, it used to be that all grass went dormant, brown during the winter. But now, because of tourists, they changed the type of grass and get them green. Exactly. So it's a big thing here is Arizona, but they keep saying that they don't use that much of the water. So.
No. Okay.
But, you can play golf in Africa. They have sand greens, so...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course you can. Okay, but going back to your career, as you started as, I get the impression that you quite quickly came into coaching.
Yeah, well, I played the junior golf and on national teams in Sweden. Actually, first generation where we actually had good national team programs with training, and then came here, went to college and played. I didn't even know, but ended up being one of the very best college teams in the U.S.
Oh, yeah.
So it was an incredible experience. And after college, I hadn't planned to, but things were going well, so I said I might as well check out playing professionally. So I did. I played on the mini tours. I qualified for the LPGA. I played some in Europe. So I did, and I was doing okay, but I wasn't like winning on the LPGA Tour is the biggest tour for women in the world. So I was doing okay, but I wasn't winning, and I was getting frustrated because I've always been pretty good at what I'm doing. It's like, I don't want to be halfway good here. So it was more, and after maybe 4.5 years on the LPGA, that I decided I'm just going to go back to Sweden a little bit to be more with family and also figure out what I need to do to go to the next level.
Oh, yeah.
And during that time, the Swedish Golf Federation and them said, oh, good, Pia is a little more in Sweden. So they kept asking me, can you help with this training camp? Can you come to this committee meeting?
Yeah.
You're young, you've been in the US, you have a lot of experience. Yeah. And so I hadn't
You've seen the world in a way. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so I hadn't planned it, but they kept asking me. And the more I did it, I realized how much I enjoyed supporting the next generation to have a better chance than I did.
But you must have been very young when this started, supporting the next generation.
Well, I was late 20s.
Okay.
So anyway, things led here and there, and then suddenly I was head coach first for the women's teams, because the coach we had in Sweden at that time had to quit, and anyway, it's a long story, but I ended up being asked. So then I was, I guess I was still pretty young, but I was around 30 then. So I said, I'll do it for a little while.
Yeah.
And then from my experience...
That's how usually things start. I'll do that for a little while, and then you're...
Yeah. And then with having been on the Swedish team and had this experience in the US and knowing what the best players in the world are doing, I kept thinking, like, how can we do this differently? And not differently, but improve it even more. So... And on the first team I ever had was Annika Sörenstam. So
yeah, because that name is sort of connected to you in a way forever.
Yeah, because her playing career, my coaching career has always been paralleled.
Yeah.
So I ended up having a lot of success with what we're doing, and that after a few years I took over all the men's and women's programs. So I did that, and it was going extremely well, and we had extremely much success on the women's side especially. But then, after I've done that for 10 years or so, I didn't quite know what I wanted to do next.
No.
So I tested a little bit because I was asked to help the Olympic Committee. So it was fun. I was helping other sports and other coaches in other sports. But then it was tugging at me.
Like a cross-coaching in a way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
But then I realized, golf is still in my heart.
Yeah.
And I didn't enjoy just lecturing about what I had done as head coach. We felt like I'm not going to spend my life talking about my past.
No? Okay. We're going to do it now.
Yeah, exactly. But, it said, I could go around and be, public speaker for a long time in many different ways, but it wasn't motivating enough.
No.
So I said it would be great to get back in golf, but doing it, not just being the Swedish coach, but influencing at a higher level. And then
what's the trademark for being a good coach? Like I know that you are, because there's you can coach, but then you coach on a totally different level.
Yeah,
especially when it comes, like you mentioned, Annika, which rocketed in a way, at least in the public eye. I mean that there's obviously a long journey of practice and a lot of work to sort of peak, but in the public eye, it's like a boom.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's all they say.
It's always like that. But what signifies a good coach? Since you've also been doing that cross-coaching, because there must be similarities regardless of what sport it is.
Because it's always a human being who's doing a sport.
Yeah.
So the human being aspects doesn't change depending on the sport. But anyway, so you need to know a lot about your actual sport, more the technical thing about your sport. But then being a good coach, it's so much about coach skills. I mean, how do you ask questions, listen, give feedback? How do you create trust? How do you help them become more their own best coach? So there's so many aspects in how to coach, and I've always been curious, and I didn't know from the beginning, but I kept learning and getting feedback. And so you have the technical components, and then you have these how to coach skills. And then it's always been important for me too, because even when I was active, I knew so many top golfers they might be good, but they're extremely unhappy.
Oh yeah.
And not doing good. So for me, from the beginning, became really important that I want to support them to be as best as they could possibly be performance-wise, but they also grow as a human being. So no matter what they do in life, they're going to be better off because they did this golf thing. And that's something early on that everybody thought like, whatever. But we produce so many results, so they thought, okay, but I've always spoken about that because it's not worth it to win gold medals or be number one in the world if
you're not enjoying it.
If you're not doing good and it's affecting other parts of your life.
Yeah.
So it's important for me that it's a human being who plays golf, not the golfer happes to be a human being.
But that's one of those things that when you say that, it sounds obvious.
Yeah, but it doesn't always happen.
No.
So it's to be a good coach for me too is to have thought through your own values, your own beliefs, your own vision, and you stay congruent with that.
If we take that, since I already announced that I'm not a golfer, I don't know anything, but I read about the thing that Annika did with the 59 on that. Was it 2001?
This actually was like the 25th anniversary the other day.
Right? That must be like... Can we explain that first? What was the...
Well, why the 59 was a big deal is...
what is that?
It's 59 shots during 18-hole round of golf, which like 72 is what called par. It's like very good.
Yeah.
So she was 13 lower than that, and no one has ever in the history of the game been able to do that. On the men's side, there have been a few, but there's never ever been anyone. And since that time, no one on the women's side have ever matched it yet.
Oh yeah,
they have been close.
Wow.
So it's one of those.
Since 2001.
Yeah, so it's kind of like the 4-minute mile type of achievement.
Okay. But how was that being from? I know that you said that you wanted to lift them and you wanted to make them have that balance in a way in life.
Yeah.
But you're still sort of behind the scenes.
Yes.
When she blossoms out.
Yes, exactly.
Is that also like an inner triumph for you, or is?
It's extremely inner triumph. But as a coach, you have many what I call hidden victories.
Yeah,
things that no one will ever know about.
Yeah.
So that's why you need to be, decide. Am I here to make sure everybody knows all the steps I've done for golfers to be successful, or is my vision something different and I can be cool?
Yeah, it's like a manager for a big rock band in a way. You never go on stage on the front.
But I was there that day. She shot 59, and actually, so on the Swedish team we started having this vision called Vision 54. Actually, believing not shooting 59 but 54, and to shoot 54.
Is that what? Because I wonder what that project was that I saw.
So 54 means
that you want to go to 54 instead of 59.
Yeah. So it was just a metaphor, but it means like you do one better than what they call par in golf on every hole.
Yeah.
Then you would have 54. But many say it's impossible, humanly possible. But I don't think so, because if you think a player playing.
So that's something that's never been done.
No.
No. Okay.
But I still believe it's possible because. Yeah, okay. When you play golf, you have those 18 holes.
Yeah.
So most of these... Most of these good golfers on each... Let's say the home course. So on each one of those 18 holes, they made what they call a birdie. That is very good. And if you add up 18 birdies, it's 54. So they have done it on each hole at one time or another. They just haven't done it during the same round.
Oh, yeah, I get what you mean now. So technically it should be possible.
Well, it is. And many, even when Annika shooting 59, she started with 8 of these birdies.
Oh, yeah.
And she got scared because it was too good to be true.
Yeah,
so the first thing she told me after walking off the green is, Pia, now it's even more possible because I know I got in my own way.
Yeah.
So, but the 54... It's the most important meaning is always to look for possibilities instead of what's lacking and what's wrong, but for every human, look at what's my possibilities that I want to develop and go for.
Do you have someone in mind that you think that person can do it?
Those things I've stopped a long time ago guessing.
Okay.
I mean, even since we talked about Annika is a junior in Sweden. She wasn't obviously the best one. So if you look at that, she's going to be the best in the world, there's no way you would have known. She was in a group of 4 to 6 promising young golfers, but then, early 20s things starting happening. So it's very, very hard to know beforehand who it's going to be.
It's hard to see when it's sort of.
Well, there's so many components.
I visualize it like there's a bubble bursting. You know, it's you work, and then all of a sudden that's when it happens.
Yeah.
And I can see that should fit in almost every sport in a way, because there's a lot of practice, a lot of repetition,
exactly.
a lot of things, and then all of a sudden...
It's easy. We just put limits on ourselves without thinking about it. So the 54 just became important because it just made us dare to think differently. Like, how do you need to practice? How do you need to think? How do you need to... What strategy do you need to do? You know, how do we, us as coaches, need to be to support the player going towards that? It just gave us a totally new paradigm what to operate from.
And how would you do that? How do you support someone to what you say is possible? But like you said with Annika, you said that during that round when she's with the 59 round with that sort of record, she told you she got scared.
No, yeah, it felt too good to be true. Yeah, exactly.
So during that sort of coming closer, you get scared that you're actually going to achieve it, which is, in a way is classical getting out of the comfort zone, that this is possible, so I'm going back to where I'm more comfortable and not so good, which is human behavior in a way.
Exactly.
So how do you coach someone to go over that?
Well, obviously, I mean, she got too much in the future predicting things.
Yeah.
So it's having skill to get back to the present.
To not worry about the next.
Well, you know, we will go to the future, but it's catching yourself really early and then come back and feel your toes in your shoes or feeling your breath or whatever you need to do to get back to here and now. And
there's a lot of Zen Buddhism in that.
Well, I don't know. You know, it's Zen Buddhism and it's many other things because we only have present, future, and past, and we just want all golfers to learn to manage those time frames.
But is that the trick? If I should start playing golf, to just be this...
Well, you need, if you want to be as good as you could be, you need to learn to be actually right there in the present. Like all peak performance is about getting back to the moment.
And it must be really... That goes for all sports also.
Yeah.
Just to the last hole that you did badly, in a way, to also... leave that, you know, it's like the last game.
Yeah, but you know, we read about that from Yo-Yo Ma as a musician, or surgeons telling us that, or you know, Formula One driver telling us that, or you know, did some coaching with Bill Murray, him telling me that. So I mean, it's all performances. Yeah. You need those skills. So that's why what I learned in golf, I can apply many other things. Or if you're a tennis player, the things you learn there that you can apply in other things, because it's a sport, but then it's about managing yourself as a human being, and those skills are transferable.
Yeah.
So that's what gives me being a golf coach extra meaning. It's not just about the golf.
No, I get that. That's very interesting. In a way, it also got me more interested in golf. No, but I can see that it's like it's a meditation in a way, to just be with that ball, with that swing in that moment.
It is a few seconds of meditation.
Yeah, but each strike must be that, you know.
Yeah,
then you walk a little bit.
Yeah, you got it.
You see, maybe I start golfing. Have you stopped making like lectures is it only golf now? Because what you're saying seems like people, you need to get out there and do the cross coaching again.
Yeah, but you know, since 1998. So then Vision 54 is me and Lynn Marriott, and since we started that, our focus has been coaching the top players on the world, men and women, all tours. But we also run a golf school that is for any golfer, and we've been really fortunate that it's been ranked extremely high for very, very many years. And it still does. So the elite coaching in golf schools, and then do a lot of coach training, and been writing books. So it's been busy, but it's been staying in the lane of golf. But occasionally asked to do some presentation outside, and if it fits in the schedule, it's fun to do.
Oh yeah.
But I'm still been really focused on golf, because you can really doing impact, can't spread myself too thin.
No, of course.
But then we've been so fortunate, because if it's a golf school or writing books, we have so many who come to us, or they read a book because they're interested in golf, but then they realize, I can use this here,
Yeah.
there, and that makes us happy.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be expert in an area I'm not, but knowing that people that learn about it, they can take it to other places.
Yeah, but you don't have to be an expert in all areas because you're an
No.
expert in golf, but it's a philosophy of life in a way to be present into something that
Exactly.
you're doing right now.
Yeah.
Don't let the past bother you and don't worry about the future.
Yeah.
Which I said, it's like, for me, that's Zen Buddhism. And that's just a name, but it's very similar to that. And, you know, that makes me intrigued of picking up the golf.
Yeah. But you know, actually right now we are helping a Formula One driver, so that's outside of golf.
Oh, really? Oh, tell me about that.
Well,
that's a different planet.
And I know nothing about it.
No, like me
See,
with golf.
I know, exactly.
So how's that?
Well, that happened.
Is that
One of the players on the LPGA who we coach, her boyfriend was Alex Albon, or is, who is a Formula One driver, and he listened to what his girlfriend was learning, and he said, "This is really interesting. It could help me."
Yeah.
So since 2 years back, we FaceTime and we're meeting in person, but he just liked to have someone outside of all his experts.
Yeah,
just
of course.
come with some thoughts and ideas, but it also comes back to being in the car and not getting too much in the future, past, but also with everybody, talking to him all the time, how he still can get in a more athletic sensory mode to drive. So there are many things we can support him with.
Do you sort of pull him out of the sport and put him somewhere else? Or do
No,
you
we've done some golf exercises with him and his now fiancée. But now in January we were with him, and then everything was in the car.
Oh yeah.
When he had his own training camp.
Wow, that's it's just like different words. That's just fascinating. So how's life here in Arizona, in the Phoenix area, Scottsdale?
But I came here as a young person going to college, and then it's always been my home base in the U.S. And it's, I just like it here a lot, but I'm not here much in the summer because the heat here is not my preference.
No.
But the rest of the year, I just like it because, for being in golf, it's a very, very good place because we have so many golf facilities and many people like to come here. But I just like it because we're still close to nature. We can go hiking. We can just drive a couple of hours to be in Grand Canyon or Sedona. And so there's a lot of history and culture and nature around here, which I really, really like.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful area.
Yeah, and it's so totally different from Swedish nature, and it's just a fun combination.
I would love to talk about coaching, like for a special episode with you.
Okay,
coaching.
let's do it.
Let's do it.
That's good. Actually, we're finishing a book about how to coach now, because a lot of what's been written is about, golf has the technical skills, but then we call non-technical skills. So my expertise is the non-technical skills, even though I know the technical, but that's where I knew the golf industry is just lacking in that area. So everything been written about that, and those skills are transferable to what you said. But then it's not only knowing that, then you need to know this how to coach skills. And
Do you need to be like good? And I understand that you need to know the sport, but do you need as a coach, do you need to be like really good at golf, or can you be a coach that knows that I'm not really good at what I'm doing? I know that you're good, so it's just a hypothetical. But can you just coach someone because you can see things in it?
No, absolutely. It's absolutely you can. You need to know enough.
Yeah, for the sport, obviously.
And I would say the only thing sometimes with the top players, you can easier get trust when they know you've been through the same kind of challenges yourself. So short term, they're first, because you've been there, they're going to listen more. But it doesn't mean I'm better.
No.
But one of the things that can happen with many really good golfers become coaches, that they only coach out of their own perspective. So how they did things. So then they never end up being a really great coach. So it can be an advantage being a good golfer if you have also learned more broader coaching skills.
But from what we're talking about now, because my question before was, what's the sign for a good coach? And the sign for a good coach, according to what I hear you telling me now, is that you need to be even more in the present. with that
Yes.
client,
Yes.
without bringing in your past and your
Yeah.
future, and also not bringing in, correct me now, but not bringing in the client or your athlete into the past or the future, just to
Well,
be, just to
it's
listen.
the past and the future are like important, but not when you're actually making your swing and putt. Even me as a coach, I need to be present. But of course, my past experiences is very useful to then when I give feedback or suggestions for the future. And so the future is also important, that I have a goal or intention.
No,
going
but
forward.
not in.
So,
Yeah,
but
of
not
course.
but not in the moment of.
Not in the moment
Yeah,
of
exactly.
watching
Yeah,
or
exactly.
coaching. I want to end with something. I do that in all the episodes. I know that you said that this was your home base, Arizona, Scottsdale, Phoenix area, but I still want to ask this question.
Yes.
Because we're here, I would say this is Dallas, so we're somewhere around here.
A little further to the.
A little further to the south? No,
Yeah,
we're closer
right
to the
there.
coast, yeah.
Yeah.
We're somewhere around here. And Sweden is up here.
Yep.
Where is home to you?
Well, it actually, if I really go deeply, I'm still a Swede.
You're still a Swede?
Yeah, I'm still a Swede that feels, if I had to choose, that's my most home. But I feel very much at home and comfortable in the U.S., even though still having an accent when I speak English, I'm always asked about it too. So
Sweden.
Yeah.
Could you write your signature where home is to you? Is that southern part of Sweden?
yeah, Torekov.
Torekov. That was a small signature.
I know signature you said. I just did a dot. So like
Anywhere.
okay.
Anywhere. So if you were to write a letter from here
Yep.
to there today, what would that be?
Well, it would be first how grateful I am for my experience spending so many years in the U.S. because when I came here, I'm still a shy, introverted Swede, and I didn't have a lot of, super confidence. But coming to the U.S. and with their mindset that you got so much, like. Everybody was saying like, wow, that's so fantastic. You're from Sweden, you come here and you're learning English, and you're doing good in school and you're a golfer. I got so much positive reinforcement. And I learned to look at, what's possible instead of being too much lagom, too careful. And since it's more of an extroverted society too, I think it was very, very good for me to have the courage to go for things and speak up about things. So
of course.
So first I think about just grateful to that opportunity and learning to be in like totally different culture and country with everything is crazy. There's everything is here from good to bad, and so the life lessons and becoming more global, I'm extremely grateful for. And then Then I would still say when I look at Sweden, it's just a very safe, comfortable base to have inside of me that is always there.
Are you going back, you think?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I love it now that I'm blessed that I can go back to Sweden every year and be there a lot in the summer. So this dual living, I want to keep up as long as I can.
Yeah.
When there comes a day I can't, I don't know yet where it will be. There's so many things in place for that, and I'm happy I don't have to decide that yet.
No, of course. I don't want to force you either.
No.
And also we talked about being in the present.
Yeah.
So do not make plans for the future. It's like that famous joke, if you want to make God laugh, tell him about your plans. It's not going to be that way anyway. So, okay. It was a pleasure to have you on this podcast. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Martin. Thanks for all the good questions.
Thank you. And also, on a final note, if I were to start playing golf, how should I start? What's the first step? Should I buy all the gear, or should I just get one club and one ball?
I would get two clubs, like a putter that you use on that. It's called the green when you roll the ball, and like one other club. And first, somewhere go out in the golf course and first find what your spirit of the game could be, meaning what makes this fun. Because every golfer has a unique way what makes it meaningful to play golf. It could be for some competition, for others to be with family and friends, or it could be being in nature, it could be your own personal challenge of this little game. So you to first just do it and see, like, what is it I like about this before you buy all the gear.
Exactly,
and
that's a good thing, obviously.
That should always come first, and you make sure why you like the game, you get to keep your intrinsic motivation for it, not let others take it away from you.
That's a typical coach answer in a way. I love it. No, but I love it. It's a good answer. Because that applies to life in general. Don't let other people take that away from you.
No, exactly. And it can so easily happen in our game because, like, you have to play in these tournaments, or you have to do this. Like,
and you have to have this type of club, or you have to have this ball.
Because some love playing golf without playing in competition, and some do. So that's why it's important.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
You have listened to Letters from America, a weekly road trip podcast celebrating the Swedish heritage in the United States. Produced in collaboration with the Embassy of Sweden in Washington, D.C., Volvo Cars USA, Volvo Trucks USA, and Airstream.